Hi everybody, happy Thursday and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It's been a minute since I have done a video, so I figured I would pop on. I've had some requests to do a tutorial on this eye look that I did earlier this week, and so I'm going to do that along with my full face. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just kind of get my brows prepped, and this is the It Cosmetics brush, and it is in number 12. It's a dual-ended, and all I do is just brush these up. And now that I've got that done, I'm going to take the Benefit Precision, my brow pencil, and it is in the color 4. And all I do is just fill these in. And I'm just making kind of like small strokes, kind of like little small hairline strokes, just to get them filled in. I had them dyed probably about 3 weeks ago, and the lady said it would last about 3 weeks. But they still look pretty good. But they are just super thin from the over plucking in the 90s. But good news is I did see where thin eyebrows are coming back into style. And like I said, I'm just going in and lightly getting this. And then I will be cleaning up above the brow as well. I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. Feels strange being back on video since it's been a while. I was doing lives there for quite a bit, and then I would post my lives on this channel, but I just kind of took a break from everything for a minute. Not from doing makeup, but just from in general sharing and that type of thing. But the eye look that I'm going to do is super easy. And it doesn't take long at all to do. And so, like I said, I'm just filling these in. And then we'll clean up. I did prep my face beforehand I used the Lancome Juvenique serum, and I let that sit in, and then I used the Hello Hydration Moisturizer, and after that, and let that all soak in, I used the Benefit Pore Freshenal Primer. So I'm just going to get that out the way, and then kind of lightly just brush this through just a little bit. And eyebrows are meant to be sisters and not twins, so no need to fret if you can't get them looking exactly the same. And I may go back in once I finish the video and touch them up just a little bit more, but for time's sake, I'm just gonna leave them like they are for right now. To clean these up, I am using the ILMakiage concealer, and it is in the color 08, and it's the Flawless Multi-Perfecting Concealer. And I love this stuff. It's about time for me to get some more because the tube is almost empty. I even used this as a foundation the other day, and it came out really good. And so I'm just taking an angled brush, and I'm just going to grab some off of the applicator tip, because you don't want to, you know, be putting your makeup on directly with the applicator, just because it can cause bacteria, breakouts, that sort of thing. And then all I'm going to do is just kind of lightly go above the eyebrow and just kind of carve it out, and then I will blend it in. And I was freezing earlier, so I put my sweatshirt on, and now with all the lights and everything, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then what I'm going to do is just take my hands are clean. I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of lightly tap it in. But when you're doing this, you want to use a concealer that is, you know, close to your natural skin tone. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with the other eye. And just grab a little bit. You can see I'm just grabbing off this. And when I say I'm like almost out, I'm almost out. I'm even getting it from up here at the top, where there's always that extra little bit. But I've just kind of like been switching up my makeup, trying out different products and things like that. I've been using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation quite a bit. I've been using some of the NARS concealer, but today I'm going to go strictly with Seint makeup. It's been a minute since I've used all Seint products, so I am going to do that, of course, except for carving out my eyebrows. But like I said, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Turkey Day. We're actually celebrating tomorrow. My husband has to work tonight, but we're doing kind of a little potluck down at his police substation. So I made some macaroni and cheese. I just have to throw it in the oven. That way it'll be nice and warm before, well, when we get there, you know, it won't be cold or anything like that. I prepared it this morning, just popped it in the fridge. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is prep my eyelids. And for that, I am going to use my, it was up. Of course, I can't find it when I need it. And when I'm prepping my eyelids, here it is, right there in front of my face. So when I'm prepping my eyelids, I usually just use a concealer, and then we'll lightly set it with powder. just to absorb some of those oils. And so for that, I'm going to use some NARS, and this color is medium. And I have not been getting, y'all see these dark circles underneath my eyes and everything? I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately. And then they believe I tore my meniscus in my left knee. So that's been something else fun I've been dealing with. And so I just took a little bit, put it on that same angled brush. I just wiped it down. And then I'm just putting a little bit on my eyelids. And then just kind of blink upward. To get the crease. And I'm still just going like this. And then I'm just going to take my finger and lightly pat it in. And then I'm just going to take my finger and, like I said, just pat it in. And that kind of helps pick up some of the excess product, so you don't have a lot of creasing that can happen. I do have kind of oily and hooded eyelids, so it's not fun to work with. And then, like I said, I'm just doing the same thing, just grabbing some off of the applicator. And if y'all hear the TV in the background, it's I was watching National Lampoon's European Vacation. I've not seen this movie in years, but it's so funny. It's like a classic. Well, I love the Christmas one that they have, which I actually DVR'd that one last year. But really, for like ever since October, I've had my TV on Hallmark, watching the the Hallmark Christmas movies, the new ones that they have that come out on the weekends, and then of course the oldies but goodies. And normally we wait until after Thanksgiving to decorate, but since I got a new tree and stuff like that, we actually put our tree up like 2 weeks ago and got the lights on the house and everything like that. Getting into the Christmas spirit early. And once again, I am just dabbing this color on. And that should be good right there. And like I said, this right here just kind of helps even out the skin tone on your eyes. That way you're kind of working with one color or one base color. And then all I'm going to do is take just this little beauty sponge right here. And then I like to go in with the e.l.f. HD powder. And just put a very teeny tiny small amount on the corner of it. And then just tap that into my eyelid. And that will help also absorb some of those oils if you have oily eyelids. Keeps your eye makeup in place. We went to the fair a couple of weeks ago, and besides my mascara running from the wind from being on the rides, my eye makeup actually stayed. There was no creasing or anything to that effect. So it is, a good little trick. that you can do. Okay. And so, like I said, I just put a little bit on there. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this color. And it's from, like I said, I'm using Seint for the most part today. Excuse me. And I normally pull the colors that I'm using out of my big artist palette, so it's not so much, but and y'all excuse this mess. I'm going to go in with this color right here. It's called Lullaby, and it's kind of like a brownish, purpley, kind of a mauve color. And I'm good. This is a Seint brush, and I am just going to take the fluffy end of it, and I'm just going to dip into that color called Lullaby, and then all I'm doing, and since I do have the hooded eyes, I go above the crease just so the color can be seen. And then I kind of tap it on and then go back and forth with it. And I'm kind of holding my brush in the middle. The lower you hold your brush down, the deeper the color, the higher up, the lighter the color. And so I just kind of like to hold it in the middle. That way I can kind of build that color to where I want it. And as y'all can see, I mean, it's a really pretty, it's a really good transition shade. And I had barely used it, and I don't know why, because when I did this eye look the other day, it came out really, really, really pretty. And so, and I had posted the picture in a Seint artist group, and I had a lot of people requesting, you know, like I said, the eye tutorial. So, but you know, since I'm doing it on camera, watch it not turn out as good as it did the other day. So now that I've got that eye where I want it, I'm going to take and do the same thing with this eye. And with the hooded eye, like I said, I go above the crease and I keep my eye open. That way you can make sure that you're able to see the color with your eye open. And then just go back and forth. And of course, you know, the more blending is the key. The more you blend, the lighter the color will be. And I know some people like to do like their face first, but I tend to do, my rule of thumb is do your eyes first, because if you happen to mess up your eyes, then it's a lot easier to fix than if you've got your whole face done trying to fix them. And with this, there's like very little fallout. So these look about the same to me. And then all I'm doing is just swirling my brush on a towel just to get that excess color off. And then the next color that I'm going to use, I'm going to take this pointed end. I call it like the pencil end of the brush. And I'm going in with this really pretty green right here. Y'all can see where I dipped into it. And it's called Emerald City. And I just take the pencil end and just dip into it. And just go like that. And then I'm just going to hit like the outer corner of it. The outer corner of my eye. And then I kind of take this and just deepen that crease some. And then I'll flip it over using the same brush and then just kind of blend everything. As you can see, I only did like the outer, I want to say like maybe the outer third of my eye, because I'm going to use a different color for that inner. It's a really pretty shimmer. It was an Advent color that came in the calendar last year that I got, and the colors were so popular that they actually brought the colors back, but they changed the names. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with the other side. And just hit that outer, about that outer third. And then go in and kind of deepen that crease a little bit. And you'll have to excuse me because, I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've been looking at my phone and stuff. Doing my makeup, I've just been using my mirror that I have. And then I'm just going to take this brush, blend it out, and then kind of blend that green. And you can make it as soft as you want or darker. And just blending that a little bit more. And I'll probably get back in and touch it up once I get that other color on there. So then for the color that I'm going to do on the inner, and that is one of the Advent shades, and it's this really pretty like pinkish color right here, and it's called Sis. So what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of cut the crease a little bit to make it so that glitter really pops and sticks out. And for that, I don't know if you really exactly call it cutting the crease. I'm just going to take some of this. It's the NYX glitter. And all I do is just take a little bit, put it on my finger. You can see it looks like that right there. And then I am going to take the same brush that I used for my for carving out my eyebrows and doing my eyelids. And I'm just trying not to get too much on there. And then I'm going to go in and just hit that part where there's no color. And as you can see, I'm just going like this. And flip it over. And like I said, I'm just being careful to like try, if you get into the green, you could always go back in and deepen it. Kind of reapply it a little bit. If you think you went a little bit too far. Okay, and so y'all see how this is done. And then I'm just going to wipe that excess off of my towel. And then I'm going to go in with a flat angled brush. This is just a regular brush from e.l.f. And I'm going to go in with that color Sis, which is that really pretty pink. And I'm just tapping it in there and kind of swirling around since it is like a shimmer. And for these, I like to kind of, when I'm putting it on the lid, I like to tap it on the lid instead of like really, really blending. It helps for the color to pop more. But you can see how pretty this color is. And it's a really good kind of like holiday. And it's not like a super glam look, but you still have, you know, that shimmer in there. And then you have the green from the holiday, you know, for like the holiday color. And then you also have that really good transition of that brownish purple kind of mauve. And like I said, I'm just kind of tapping. And then also trying to put, I will also take a little bit and just kind of into that crease as well. But y'all see how pretty that color is. It's very pretty. And who doesn't love a little bit of shimmering? It's like a pink too, so it's really, if anybody that's watching this that got the Advent color, and then I'm just kind of tapping it with my finger, just soften it just a tad. It was called Mary, I believe was the color of it last year. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. Take a little bit of that glitter glue. And this stuff comes out like kind of thick. And make sure I grab the right brush. Yes. And then just get that on there. You can use concealer if you don't have the glitter, because I've used concealers before too, and it works just as fine. I just haven't used the glitter, the NYX glitter, in a minute, and a lot of people swear by it. The first time I used it, I was not a fan of it at all. Not a fan, but I figured I would give it another. I'd give it another shot. And so I'm just putting a little bit right there. And then just taking that excess, wiping it off, and then going in with that same brush and going into that color Sis. And I kind of like swirl the brush on there and then pat it just to make sure I pick up a good bit of that shimmer. Some people use their fingers. If I was going all over my lid, I would, but since I'm not, the brush works better for me. And like I said, I'm just patting this on there. And then just trying to go a little bit into the crease. And grab a little bit more. And then I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of lightly tap it onto the lid. And then, of course, I'm going to take and dry color underneath as well. I just wanted to get this on. And I may add just a tad bit of that green on the color, on the outer edge. And then flip it over and just kind of blend it forward and backward. And do the same thing on the other side. And do a little forward and backward. Like I said, it just depends. It really just all depends on how much of that green that you want to pop on there. And grab a little bit more of that pink. And just trying to make sure that they're even. So got that done. I'll tell you what, I would sit here for hours just, you know, making sure that everything is exactly perfect. But for the sake of time on the video, okay. And so then there is a trick where you can take your concealer, and actually I'm going to take a beauty blender, and I'm going to use some makeup mist instead of water, and dampen that, and then just kind of squeeze it out. Have that sit there for just a second. And this is what you can do to kind of give like a lifted look, and it also helps to clean up your concealer. So what I'm going to do is and this is another Seint brush. I just can't remember the name of it to save my life. And I'm taking a little bit of this color right here, which is called June. And I'm just tapping my brush in there. And then just going upwards. So not only does it clean up your eye, any kind of like mistakes that you might have made, once you blend it, it kind of lifts your eye up. So it gives that like lifted effect. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And then what I'm going to do is just take this beauty blender, and I'm going to take the pointed end of it and kind of tap it in there and pick up some excess product. And when you have like mature eyes and stuff like that, mature skin, I know like a lot of the young people, they like to do a lot of concealer, like completely underneath their eye. I call it like the pizza shape, which is fine for them. But when you have mature skin, you want to make sure that you're not using a whole bunch underneath your eye, because then you get like the cakiness and everything. And then I'm just going to take, this is the blush and bronzer, and I'm just going to swirl this around just to kind of blend it after I picked up that, blended it, pushed it into my skin. But now I'm just going to kind of swirl it around. Now there's many different ways to apply Seint, and it's been a hot minute since I've used it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same brush, and I'm just going to go into that color June, And this is the brightening, or what you would call concealer. And I'm just going to kind of go right here, because the whole point is to like brighten up the middle of your face. And then kind of go down the middle of my nose. And then get right through here. And then grab just a little bit extra. And put it right here. And I'm going to let that sit. Because with cream-based makeup, the best thing that you want to do is kind of let it sit before you start blending. So it kind of has a way to warm up to your skin. Okay. And then I'm just going to wipe that off on my towel. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some contour. And sometimes I contour, sometimes I don't. But today, since I'm doing a video, hey, why not? And so for the contour, I'm waiting on the shade that I normally use to come in. I have not received it yet. So what I'm going to do is mix 2 shades. And I hardly ever use these, so I've got to pop this up to see what it is. Stone. And then, let me see which one this is. This might be the one I'm looking for. Yes, henna. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this one right here, which is called indigo, and the one right underneath that is called henna. Indigo pulls a little bit red on me, which isn't bad during the summertime when I have a tan, but during the winter, it's just, it pulls like a little way too red. So I mix those 2 colors just to kind of get what I want. And all I do is I just kind of go into the indigo with this same brush, and then go into henna. And I probably should have like tried to cool these down, well, warm them up. And then I'm just gonna go right here. And because you want to do like up here at your forehead line, like right underneath your forehead, and you're gonna, when you blend that, you're gonna blend it upwards, and that also gives the lifted effect. And I'll do the same thing on my cheekbones. And y'all see, I'm just like kind of taking that. And don't worry, like if you put too much contour or whatever, you can always fix it with your foundation. And then do the same thing on the other side. And if you have problems finding your cheekbones, you can but what contouring does is it helps to add like shadow to your face and kind of carve out your features more. And then I'm gonna take a little bit and I get right underneath here. And then get that jawbone, that jawline. And I'm just going to put a little bit. Then I call this like my turkey gobbler. And when you contour, it kind of helps hide it. So now I've got my brightening on. I've got my contour done. And so then the last step that I'm going to do is go in with the main shade. And you're just going to put that like anywhere that there's any open areas. So for my winter shade is Sandy. And same little brush. And just get these spots where I did not, because this right here is, yeah, you're doing your contour, your concealer and everything, but you're not putting layer after layer after layer on. You're using one layer and then it just blends together. And like I said, there's really no right or wrong way to put on. I mean, everybody has their own. As we say, just trust the process. I know it looks kind of crazy right now. And then I'm going to take some of that highlight, that brightening highlight, and I'm just going to hit right here on the inner corner of my eye. And when the temperature is cooler outside, it's best to like maybe take a hairdryer for like 20 seconds and just hit it, just to kind of warm up the cream. But I did not do that, so that's why it looks like I might be fighting with it some. And then now all that's left to do is I like to take a beauty blender and because with mature skin you want to kind of push it in, and so I'm just gonna start with the contour, and y'all see I'm just kind of tapping but pushing it upwards. And we'll do the other side. And then take this, and once again I'm kind of pushing and going upwards, and then don't forget to do underneath your neck, because you don't want to go out with that, like, harsh, you know. And then I'm just going to finish by blending everything all in. So this is like the main highlight that I'm using right now that I'm blending, and I'm saving the lighter one for last. And like I said, I'm just hitting all of those spots. And some people will contour their nose. I do every once in a while, but I'm not really feeling it today too much. And like I said, I'm just pushing this makeup into my skin. And then get this middle area right here. But y'all see how it was just one layer and then it just all blends in seamlessly together. But, you know, I do switch up my products. I'll switch them up, and, you know, like I said, I use the Estee Lauder at times. But since it's been a minute since I've used my good old Seint, I figured, you know, try it again. And there we go. And then for the lip and cheek color, I am actually going to mix two colors. And I'm mixing these two right here. I know one is plum, and I believe the other one is bear. And all I do is just take my finger into one, put it in the other, and then do little dots like this. And then taking the smaller end of the blush and bronzer and just blending it in. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other. And just swirl it in. And then I'm just going to take this and just re-go like this, just to and you have that youthful glow with this makeup. And you can set it with some powder, or you can just you can just go like this. Since I did use the setting mist to kind of push the makeup in, I'm good to go with that. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do before I forget is go underneath the eye, because you never want to forget to go like underneath your eyes, just for some definition. I don't like to use eyeliner, and all I'm doing is going in with that first color, Lullaby. Taking that pencil in and kind of going, and then kind of moving it upwards. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And once I post this, I will list all the colors in the description box. And then I'm going to go in with that green, that Emerald City, and just kind of go over it. And I even go into the color again. Take this fluffy ended brush and just blend the colors out. And I see where I like messed up right there. There's no worry, I can just take my sponge that I was using to blend, fix that. I'm gonna take some, I use the e.l.f. Lash It Loud. Sometimes I put lashes on, sometimes I don't. I'm not going for lashes today. And then I love this. I love this e.l.f. mascara. Not only is it clean and vegan, works really good. I didn't use this one when I went to the fair. I wish I would have. I used a different brand, and as soon as I got off the first ride, my eyes were watering, and I was like, oh my goodness, I look like a raccoon. And there we go. Last step is going to be, I'm just going to line my lips. And this is from Mellow Cosmetics. And I know some people, you can contour your lips. I don't do that, but you can put a little bit of contour line like right here, and it'll help your lips to appear fuller. And I'm sorry, I'm just like concentrating on getting that. And then this right here is just an Ulta lip gloss in the color Nude. And I'm just going to put that on. and kind of get that straight. And like I said, there you go. This is the finished look. Of course, I have to do my hair and everything, but for those of y'all that wanted the tutorial, here you go. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me for so long, and y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will start doing more videos more often. Y'all have a great day. Bye.